Bam! Going live. Welcome to the show tonight. Pro Se Lawsuit Center. We used to be called Pro Se Legal School. I still left the school right down there because people need to understand when they get in this program, the main goal is to jumpstart your critical thinking process and then to make sure that your family stays in your house and then to get your deed delivered like the state law says is supposed to happen. They're supposed to deliver your deed, but that's not what they do. Those are now. After that, then you can do whatever that check down after those check downs. Then but that's what the goal that we're here to help you guys do. Now we don't just. Our goal is help you stop the court process. So and when I put it that way, okay, it's like everybody's stuff is the same. There's a few categorical differences like criminal and their alleged civil from statutes and codes that aren't valid laws because they don't have an acting clauses, titles, or bodies. Oh wait, the criminal statutes are the same except they're on the federal level. I'm sure there's some on the state level too, but just work with me here, okay? The criminal statutes are the same. They're non-valid laws. They're just stuff that the government and federal, Okay, if there was an injured party and damaged property, nobody should be getting jammed up in the first place. And number one, the government can't be the how's the government injured? They're making money off of all this. Anyway, so welcome to the stream. We're jumping on here in the middle of the day. We got some new, we got a couple new places we're streaming to. I think we're streaming there now. I'm still learning how to set this stuff up. So we're streaming over on Odyssey because they respect your constitutional rights. And we're also over on Rumble. So we got the Odyssey Rumble, and we're still here with the YouTube tumble. Yeah, because they're giving us the business, and that's why we had to go over there in the first place. So I'm looking over at I think. Yeah, we're streaming live over on Odyssey. So that's pretty cool. So let's see if we're on Rumble too. It took me a minute to figure out how to set all this stuff up. Oh, yeah, yeah, I'm live over here on Rumble too. So, yay! And looks like I got a follower already over on Odyssey. So I haven't figured out how to see. Yeah, I got one follower right here. I don't know how to see who that follower is, but follower on Odyssey, if you're still on, you should message me in the messenger over on StreamYard in the messenger thing. Send me an email. Okay, the first one up in here, and I just barely got it put up, and you on here already. I'm gonna send y'all ass some free stuff. So send me an email or even call me. Let me know what your situation is. I like this. Okay, because the first people that jump up in here are the ones that's motivated to roll without limitations. Okay, that's what I'm talking about. Okay, so thank you, Odyssey, for having me, and Rumble and the people in those communities for for supporting us. And I'm just going to assume that you're going to support us because YouTube been jamming me up over there, shadow banning me, cutting off, when people subscribe, they click the button. So those people are not subscribed anymore. So when I go live, they don't get, they've been doing all kinds of stuff. And it's funny how it goes because once I connected my Odyssey account to the YouTube, okay, then they started showing my videos. Then they started, it's a little late because we not only over here on Odyssey, we over there on Rumble too. So let's see if I can pull up my dashboard. Yeah, I'm still learning how to get around over here, but this is pretty cool that that we're able to do this on some place where they respect your right to free speech. Okay, so let's just get the preliminaries out of the okay, this is what my doctor used. Let's get the unpleasantries out of the way. And then I'm going to show you guys the website and give you a little bit of rundown on how we do stuff. Now we got a couple of workshops, and I want to show you guys this link right here. Now we're rolling without limitations too. So we got new stuff that's been posted on new products on the website. So we help you handle any kind of legal situations. Credit card, third-party debt collections. We specialize in foreclosure offense. I also specialize in the criminal stuff. And the criminal stuff, this is bad, but we're just gonna go to the criminal stuff. I learned from being punched in the face. Okay. Now, with that said, I need to go here. I've never been convicted of anything. And when you throw that on the table, you also have to throw on the table that you didn't take the deal. Now, I'm talking on a federal level. Y'all don't know I don't play around on state level shit. They're going to have to send the feds after me, which is what they did the last time. And then the state tried to, after I got out and got all of that shit dropped, I went in with 2 charges and came out with 12. And I had some aliases and all kind of shit. All that shit dropped. Then I started doing this, and this was a while back. And then, they tried to shut me down 3 times. I think, 27 letters between attorneys and letters from attorney generals in different states. Most of them came from the attorneys themselves, who was letting me know that I was practicing law without a license, yeah, that's pretty much what they said. Of course, I'm like, you know what? On Swear versus the Board of Examiners, the Supreme Court ruled that, there's no staking license in practical law, whatever. Oh, yeah. Well, some fool told me I misread I'm like, dude, I played football in college and I boxed. I went to college. I didn't stay long. Okay. So I'm not that smart. Okay. I don't need to understand the words in that Supreme Court ruling to know that this whole license thing is full of shit. Okay. Because all I need to do is just ask you, show me your license. Show me your license to practice law. Why they go, no. I'm not talking about your bar card. Okay, because that's not a license to do shit anywhere. That's bam, the door got shut. And that's why we're over on Rumble, and that's why we're over on on Odyssey because, well, I already see the writing on the wall. They're jamming up my stuff. They're cutting down my ads. I guess I got the hell off of Facebook, okay, because they were smarter than me. They were smarter than me. They didn't like my stuff, but they liked the traffic and they liked taking my money for the ads. And so they was running my ads. And then all of the responses were in Spanish. I was like, wait a minute. Yo hablo español también. Yo no quiero muchos amigos que quieren comprarme cosas de habla español. ¿Qué pasa aquí? And why, how? I mean, I would like to have, and I'm working on that, having a whole website with things, everything on it, in okay. But I'm like, how? Oh, I speak Spanish. Yeah. It's amazing what they put you through. They were sending my ads to Brazil. The Facebook people, they were taking my money, and my ads was supposed to be, well, what the hell, Brazil. I don't even think they speak the same kind of Spanish that I learned here from Mexico people, from Mexico. Okay. Yeah, so, I already know. And then what my family been through has helped me do. This is like my therapy. That's for those of you who don't know me. And when you roll without limitations, you can't do that with fear. We have a coaching page at neighbors_coach over on Twitter. And that's where the coaching takes place. There's a private section, just like Messenger, where you can message me in that section. If it's something that's touchy or whatever, or you can just put it in the group. Everything ends up going in the group at some point, and that's how that's the communication hub that we're using right now. If there is a problem, then you and I'll discuss it in private over here. And then once we figure out, what the problem is, why it's a problem, what their plan, how they're going to use this problem against, and then what you need to do. What you need to do to crush that problem. Those are all the things that you have to have in your head before you get to the coaching page. And to take it a step further, after when you invest in one of the lawsuit packages, okay, and then say you do something and then they do something. Well, if they do something, if they respond, then they're trying to slide by the fact that they can't respond to federal case law with statutes and codes or whatever. Okay, but that's a whole different thing. If they respond, then you need to figure out where the hole is, because there's a hole. There's always a hole. And you need to figure out why, how they're able to get past what you got on the table to do that, what you filed, how they're able to get past that, number one. And there's a couple more, but the one I want to focus on is everything that you get in the lawsuit package is structured to crush that stuff. Okay, everything that you get in a lawsuit package is structured to crush that. Okay, I don't think they're gonna come to the table with something we ain't seen yet. I mean, it's possible. We haven't seen it all, but we seen enough to know that we have to go after the why they're able to violate you. Why they're able to violate you, not so much the what. In their conventional system, They taught you to address the what they did. Now, you see the difference? Okay, they did the foreclosure. We're going to sue them for that. Okay, now we're stuck in this mess and the bank who, or whatever. That's not the problem. The foreclosure is not the problem. That's the symptom of the problem, a problem from the problem. But it's not the problem. Come on now, keep up with me. Remember, I just said the why. So what's more important, what or why? Because if you don't know why they're able to do this to you, and they're going to keep doing it. And you're not going to get out from underneath the what? The why. Why they're able to do it. They're able to do this to you because they drag you into their administrative court. They make the rules up themselves at each location. And they ignore their own rules that they made up, but they expect your ass to follow them. No. What they expect you to do is go get an attorney. Because they don't like to work very hard. They need an attorney in there helping you smooth that shit over so it could get out that door right there, out the back door to the hog pen. Yeah, y'all know why I said the hog pen, because out that back door is the hog pen. Okay, once you step in that, it stinks forever. Out the back door. That's what they want you to get an attorney. But you know what? You can get your own bar card off of the website at winningcourtnow.com. Yeah, you can get your own bar card. Yeah, right there. And it's federal. It is. I'm not kidding. You can get your own bar card. Okay, so the real-time feedback from the people that have been supporting us here, like you guys, over the period of time that we've been doing this, and I didn't want to mention it because then it drops me down working for like 50 cents an hour. Okay, but the real-time feedback is what helped us put together the program that we're doing right now. And it don't make sense. And that's why I call it a non-conventional program. It don't make sense. But we go after the why they're able to violate you. Why is because they violate your due process. You know, they violate your due process. They drag you into their administrative court. Now, let's just talk about the foreclosure situation, the property situation. Okay? The property situation. Let's just talk about that for a minute. Because that's kind of what we're talking about tonight anyway. But, I just, I ain't in a hurry because I know YouTube is dragging their feet about so I got some people showing up. And then, so now we're streaming also in some other places because we ain't playing no more. So, and we don't roll limitations over here. I practice what I preach. Y'all know the song. And we've been bringing some fire to the table. Being able to roll without drama and all of this. Oh, I'm talking some serious fire to the table. We're gonna take a look at that new stuff that we're doing. Okay, so we're just gonna get started here before we start playing around because it's So thank you guys. Let's start at the top because we're showing in some new places right now. Thank you guys, Pro Se Lawsuit Center. Hello, everybody. I'm Coach Neighbors, and I've been called some other stuff, but we'll just stick with that. And tonight we're going to be talking about, I put in the thing foreclosure defense because that's what the words that the conventional system is structured to point people to what we're doing. But this ain't defense, what we're doing here. This is offense. Okay. Every single day, families lose their homes, and not just because they missed a payment, not because they missed a payment, but because the system is designed to take it from them. The system is designed. Oh, wait. Oh, how many people do you know that got a new assignment from okay, so now you have to start sending your payment over here. So you send your payment to a new assignment, and then after a couple of months, the first assignment call you up, want to know where the hell your payment's at. Oh, well, you know that assignment form? You can get that shit at the courthouse. You can probably put oh, yep. And I have people in the program who are facing foreclosure. They're not behind. There are people in Shelby County, Tennessee, and I know this because Darren Woods used my stuff, and you could search on the YouTube channel, Shelby County, Tennessee. 400 homes were sold for tax delinquent situations, and 30 something of them were actually delinquent in tax. The others were not. And nobody, Channel 5, and I post their whole video in one of the videos. Channel 5 did, and I just watched Channel 5. They outlined it. They told me where the money was, but nobody else could figure out where the money was. Channel 5 showed a thing showing that these people said, "Oh no, we don't kick people out of their houses, whatever. We just, after they move out, we don't want it to fall apart, so we sell it for whatever the value of the house is." So and then they showed this house that was a $32,000 house that had $2,600, and they sold it. There was one that had $1,700, and they sold it. They sold it to some people overseas in the land bank. I bet y'all didn't know there was a land bank. And in my opinion, once your property gets registered in the Register of Deeds office, there's a Register of Deeds, there's a registration of deed in each state. And once it gets registered there, in my opinion, that's when it goes out all over the internet to all of these places that allows them to do this. But because the system is designed to take it from them, don't mean that we have to put up with that. And we expose that system. I'm showing you why. I'll show you why the state, and I tell you all the time, why the state courts attack against you will give you the tools that you need to fight back and crush their butt. But we're going to be doing that over in federal court. So stay with me till the end, because I'm going to share with you some steps that you can use. Here's the truth: foreclosure is a trap. Here's the truth. Here's the truth. The mortgage loan was a trap. There was no loan. There was no loan. And this is my opinion, and it is also the opinion of the people that wrote the book, Modern Money Mechanics. Okay, there was no loan. What they did was, when I say they, I ain't talking about the lender. In my opinion, I'm talking about the bar members that run the title company and all of. In my opinion, what they did was, after you signed and left, they stamped paid to the order of on that puppy dog, and without recourse and stuff, words under the bottom there. And then like you, the bank vice president, signed it, or Linda Green. The Robos, Linda Green, she signed a bunch of them, actually. Okay. And then it gets processed through the Federal Reserve for electronic credits. Okay, So the person that signed first is the one that's, and this is just how I'm not that smart. The person that signed first and the person that owned the property. Oh, okay. So there's some discrepancy there. So we need to check that down. The person who signed first and the people, okay, wait a minute. If there were several owners of the property, they all would have to be present to sign, right? So the fact that the alleged lenders group of whatever you want to call them accepted your signature on there at the gate proves that you own the property already. And I smell pig poop. And think about it. Okay, so Coach, you get stuck here all the time. Yeah, I do. I get a little stuck here. Because see, here's the thing. If you owned it already, and okay, so what happened next? Well, the next thing that was supposed to happen after they sent it over there and did all that slick shit, okay, we got to get past that. Well, they're supposed to deliver your deed to you. That's what the state property transfer said. You're supposed to get your deed delivered to you, whatever. They didn't do that. They did what they call their constructive delivery, and they registered it. They registered it in their office. A constructive delivery. I had to look that up when I was working with my friend Julie, because she was, so I had to know what I was talking about. I never thought about it. I looked it up. You know what that means? That means that any information about that property before that illegal deed fraud registration situation took place is deleted out of the history of that property. Gone. Now, why would you need to do that? Well, for several reasons. Number one, the registration allowed first illegal lien to be put on the property. The illegal lien didn't have nothing to do with the property tax. Oh, that was illegal too. They did that because they were able to reclassify your property from private property to rental. But the first, that's another video. The first illegal lien was the property lien. The mortgage lien was the first illegal lien put on your property. And this is why attorneys don't like what I got to say. Okay? But I'm like, you know what? I ain't rolling with limitations. So there's an attorney or somebody that can make me shut up. I'll send you a link and you can be right up here in the corner or whatever, and you're gonna throw down. Okay. And if you can crush my stuff, I'll let you finish the damn show. I ain't lying. Because I didn't learn what I know from hanging around people that aren't too smart. And I learned what I know from hanging around people that are very smart. I learned what I know from hanging around people that aren't too smart. Come on now, because you need it all. Because the people that you're fighting over there, So the real estate deed fraud started when they didn't deliver your deed like the state law says they're supposed to do. And then they registered it in their office. And that allowed the first illegal lien to be put on your property. And in my opinion, first illegal lien was the mortgage lien. Why was it illegal? Well, because you already own the property. Check down. Come on now. I'm not that smart. Y'all asked me to keep up. Okay? You already own the property. This is what I asked the attorneys, about, wait a minute. If they accepted my signature, then I already owned it. I didn't have to sign it. Oh, dang, All right, you know what? A long time ago, before they came out with this constructive registration BS, okay, you just kept your deed. It was signed and notarized, kept that shit in your safety deposit box in your gun safe and your gun over there. Oh, I'm not in the situation room, so you can't have a gun in here. Or in your mattress with your money, whatever. And if somebody came and wanted to try to get on your stuff, they had to come to the table with a deed that was signed and notarized prior to yours. You didn't even have to bust your shit out. Okay, dude, let me see what you got. No, oh hell no, dude. That was no. Get on my. See, you signed no trespassing. See ya. No, but now it's all complicated. So the banks conceal the deeds. They hide the transfers. It's the banks. I'm still trying to figure out. Yeah, well, okay, that's another video. Okay, they break the property transfer laws, and the courts let them do it. Oh, because they're subdivisions of the state, and the state is financing the whole thing, and that's why we add them as the number one party to the counterclaim that we file. The states let them do it, and then they drag you into court and they deny your due process. Remember we talked about at the top. They deny your due process. The why. This is the why. The why. And we go after them for criminal stuff. The Administrative Procedures Act of 1946, you got to put that 46 on the end if you want to look up the real one. Okay. And the Tuckers Act, those are all federal laws. And the first one mandates that these corporations are supposed to have their policies and procedures in line with the Constitution, and they don't. And the Tuckers Act, okay, so I use the Tuckers Act, and it really creeps them out. Okay, it's a federal law, but see, the Tuckers Act was built for the only judicial court that I know is around, and it used to be called the Botanical something, and then it was International Court of Trade. In my opinion, that's the only judicial court that's left. And when they switched over to doing what they're doing now and having administrative crap, and then no other countries wanted to do business with us, so they had to leave that one court. And the Tuckers Act is a reference of that one court. And in my opinion, we should be able to get in that one court at any place. But, they don't want you in that. In that one court. Anyway, so there's a little Tuckers Act and the big Tuckers Act. I don't reference. Okay. The little Tuckers Act obviously gives less authority to the court, and the big, and our UN federal, Okay. You're checking yourself down, and a lot of people do this. You're checking yourself down to make it easy for them. We don't care about that. Can I do this? Hell yeah. Do that shit and make them tell you that you can't and why, along with the rest of the stuff. Well, I can't answer the rest of the stuff. Oh, they don't want none of that. So come on down, work with me. They deny your due process. That's the why they're able to violate you. So if I'm going to go after somebody, I'm going to pick the why. Why I'm going to go after them for why they're able to violate me, and then bring the what in from behind or on the side, or hell, I may not even get to the what. Just think about it. If you're going to sue them for violating your due process with their local rules and all of that, that's a whole lot more simpler. That's a simpler, more whole lot. Come on now. Y'all know what I mean. Check down and make it a little bit easier. And that also makes it harder for them. Okay? Because the more complicated it is, the more avenues they got to throw BS at you. You know that BS I'm talking about outside the door where the pigs are. So, what happens is, if you don't stop the why, then we're just going to keep going forward with the what. they're going to keep talking about the what and have some more hearings, and you probably felt it. The judge didn't listen. The judge will not listen. They don't have to, because they have their own rules that they don't follow. The case gets pushed forward, and you feel powerless. But you're not losing your home for mispayment. You're losing your home because the game is rigged. The game is rigged. So let's talk about the state courts. They're not real judicial courts. Oh, we talked about that. They're administrative courts that operate from, their own rules. We had a live stream. Okay, the rules for the administrative court in each state come from the Supreme Court. Everybody thinks, oh, that's so badass because they all wear those black robes or whatever. I'm sure they go home and burn stuff. Okay, that's a joke. Okay, never mind. Okay, but here's the thing. Those rules aren't connected to the Federal Rules of Civil Procedure. They're not connected to the Constitution. They're only connected to their pocketbooks. That's from what I'm seeing. They're not real judicial courts. They're administrative courts. They enforce statutes and codes and not laws. Statutes and codes are non-valid laws because they have enacting clauses, titles, wrong finger, titles, or bodies. And they're biased in favor of the banks because they're all on that side of and they act outside of their authority. They act like you're in judicial court. Yep, they do. But when they send you a notice, these people got administrative right on it. Administrative order from the judge. Yeah, y'all know somebody's gonna have to chew on that. Okay, so that's what we learn how to do here too. Is come up with a game plan for when they act outside their authority, and that's why you feel trapped. That's why you can't make them stop. They wanted me to say win here, and I don't know. You don't win. You only win if you're on their side inside the program that was structured for that. Okay, the program that we use is not structured to win. It's structured to make them go sit their happy asses down. It's structured to punch them in the face until they go sit down. Because the judge is to win, the judge has got to say, okay, the judge is going to recuse himself. And then they're going to send it off to another. They're going to send it off to they're going to send it off to another court. And I put together a program, and I did this for myself to notice to adverse parties of removal to federal court. So I put together a whole program to remove their hot potato crap, and it's like 6 documents in it. So I don't have. I gotta organize it all up so that it would make sense to And that's what we're doing right now. Now we got another document that we put together also, actually a lawsuit package to help the people facing the eviction process, to help you cloud the title of your property, the property they're trying to steal from you, and their property. So you don't have to feel trapped, but you know why you can't win, and you're never meant to win, and that's why how we do stuff here makes the biggest difference. So where do you fight? Do you fight in federal court? Where do you hold them accountable and demand your well, we provide the tools for that on our website, and we got a new less pendants package where you can learn how to cloud the title, block the sales, and force the bank. Well, it's not the bank at this point; it's the attorneys. Force the attorneys to go sit down, and then, well, federal court is where you're going to be anyway, because that's where the fire is going to take place. Okay, so you can do this without having to spend an attorney, without to spend thousands of dollars for attorneys and shit and all that. That's why I created the lawsuit packages. I have one $300. It's marked down to $300 foreclosure defense package. That package addresses the 42 USC 1983 issue, and it brings a couple of criminal things to the table. And that package is marked down to $300. It was $9. Spent a little time. Most of it's life at $6, but I marked it down. I marked it down because I need some video reviews. And all of you who invested in my package or I've helped or done work for needs to email me a video review that I can put in my video review playlist, because I have a lot of people, but I don't have those. So someday people are going to call me with questions, and I'm going to have to ask. This is the video review day. Did I get my video review? Or even the written review, if you don't want to do a video review. Okay. And you don't have to have your name in it. I mean, I know who it's coming from. And, so that's how that goes. I need them video reviews so people can see that what we're doing here has value. Now, we have another foreclosure defense package. Well, the first one is a 42 USC 1983 foreclosure defense package. This is how you tell the difference, because I had to use the word foreclosure defense in order to make sure people could understand what the hell was going on. And then we have a $1,500 package that's half price at $1,500, and that's foreclosure defense real estate deed fraud package. That package addresses the real estate deed part of the scheme, because it was, we're not talking about the foreclosure. You know what I'm saying? And it also addressed the 42 USC thing. Now, the real estate deed fraud part of it, in that premium package, you're addressing the 42 USC issue, but you're also saying there are 6 things missing from the original contract that you signed with the bank. You and the bank agreed on 6 things, and those things are missing from what the attorneys are going to use or are using or whatever. And, one of those 6 things you're saying is missing is that you're saying that you and the lender agreed that the mortgage deal would be done according to the GAAP accounting principles. Bam. And the attorneys can't say that it was, because it wasn't. The attorneys can't say it wasn't because they'd be admitting that they violated federal laws. That's just one. Now, I remember the first 2. The second one that I can remember, and if I could remember them all, I wouldn't tell y'all all of them. I'm only going to tell you a couple, because then. Okay, so the other one is that you and the lender agreed that the borrower would be repaid. Come on now, keep up with me. Remember, top of the show, well, a third down or whatever, we talked about who the borrower really was. Borrower was the first person that signed. The rest of them were fraudulent. I don't know, duffs from the bar. Yeah. And then we got the foreclosure eviction writ of mandamus package that we got 2 people using. One person has them in default, and Marquita, I haven't heard from you. You should call me and let me know what's going on. And then Keisha, she has hers filed, and she's just beginning with that package. And we have a new package now to help the people facing the eviction process. It's only $300. It's marked down half price right now for the first week of this month. It's only $300. And what it does, it allows you to file less pendants and a fraudulent conveyance without having to pay the $400 to get a federal lawsuit to cloud up the property, so that the buyers can't just keep moving and get somebody in there. Okay, because we know that they're involved in this stuff too, and they're in a real big hurry. The whole system is in a real big hurry, and so they're trying to hurry. They need to get that place cleaned up, painted, get somebody in there before they have to start making the payments on it. Oh. And so when you bring that tool, it gives you, and I'm not looking right at it, but we might pull it up when I show you some stuff here. When you're looking, that tool allows you to cloud the title without having to spend. Now, the other way they jam you up when you're doing that in the conventional system is that if they make you get a certified copy of the federal filing to use. That's how I learned how to do it in the first place before I learned this. And well, then they'll try to charge you $17 a page, 30 pages, 35 pages. And are you kidding me right now? $17 a page, because they figured out, people are figuring out how to put a lien on the property. And when you do that now, and when you do that, then you slow their process down, whatever. Here's the truth. You don't have to wait till sheriff shows up at your door and it's too late. So you need to act now before you get locked out. Go to winincourtnow.com and scrolling across and pick out the package that you need and download it. It downloads to email address that's connected to the payment method. You don't have to be a victim. You can fight back and you can make them go sit down. You can fight back and make them go sit down. And that's kind of how we do things around here. So the new package that we got up, it also has a counterclaim in it that you can use if they already have a case against your property. Now let's do a screen share. Well, let's I got some people over here. Hey, Coach. Oh, I'm sorry. Twins, you're first. Oh, I just like my Welcome to the show, and thank you for coming in here with us in the middle of the day. We're going to be here more often. We're just going to be jumping in all over the place, getting stuff done. We're jamming over here on some different places. We're on Rumble now, and we're over on Odyssey, and I think we're going to get on Twitch before too long. So all those are places where they're not going to be telling me they don't want to do my stream if I mention attorney in the keyword or whatever. So okay, now it's my turn. Yeah, that's the coaching page over on Twitter. So you guys can get over there if you got questions. If you invested in a premium package, then you should text me if you have a question, and then I'll get back to you, because I'm usually busy and I don't have time to take a whole bunch of calls. Between the new calls coming in, and this is how we have to have it set up so I can manage everything. So text me a question, hey, short, hey, because I have a question about it, whatever, and then I'll get back to you. That's how that works as soon as I can. In the premium package, if you invest in any of the packages that aren't the premium package, then the coaching is done over on. Now, we do have another option, and we're going to show it to you too. And then we're just kind of getting it together. We're going to take you to the website, show you some of the new stuff here. Okay. Welcome, Kendrick. You're supposed to say that after I. Okay, it doesn't matter. I can tell you're excited. I love it. I love the energy, and that's what we got going on right here. Yeah, I have, I have. Okay, so there's a bar card story, Frederick, here that I'm going to share with you since you told me you have 2 cards. I took my paperwork down. I signed in, and I took the whole paper down. I had the card in the middle, the size that I wanted it, and then I took the whole paper down to have it laminated. And so the guy that was laminated for me, he says, do you want me to make 2 copies?" I thought in my head, well, wait a minute. I only asked 1 copy. Is he trying to upsell me? Wait, it's only like $1 or something, $1.50 or something. And these are the things. And I said, yeah, sure, man. Make me. Okay. So I'm sitting at the restaurant bar where I go all the time. It's a real nice place. So I'm sitting at the bar, and I actually was eating dinner. And this beautiful lady was sitting 1 chair between us. And I can see her out the corner of my eye. She kind of was checking me out. She was watching what I was eating. And then she kind of struck up a conversation. And when I got done eating, then I just moved over and sitting in the chair next to her, and we're talking. And she said, "Oh, we're talking, making small talk." And she said, "What do you do?" And I said, "Oh, I'm a legal coach." And she said, "A legal coach? What the hell is that?" And I said, "Oh, well, I teach people how to kick attorneys' asses." And you might be keeping up with me. And she said, "I'm an attorney." Oh, and I didn't say nothing. I just looked at her. And the bartender was laughing really hard over here. And I just kept looking at her. I didn't break the eye contact. I used to sell cars. I just looked at her. And I said, is it getting a little warm in here? I kept looking at her. She didn't say nothing. And I said, "You're just going to make me sweat this out, aren't you?" And she said, "Uh-huh." Oh, Lord. Yeah. So I did a check down. You always got to do the check down to the one most important thing. I learned this working with kids. I tried to do it with my ex, but it never worked out. But okay. I did the check down. And I said, "So what kind of attorney are you?" I already asked God to help me because she was really nice looking and I wasn't married. And she said, "Oh, well, I do." She said, I'm contracts. I do contracts. And then I just said, just to kind of be an asshole, I said, "Oh, you do the boring stuff." Anyway, so we laughed, and I said, "I have a bar card and everything." She said, "Really?" So I whipped it out. Well, just one of them. And I showed her. So she took it. She's like, "Oh, that's really cool." I'm like, "Well, no, there's no license to practice law. Everybody just have their own, they just get themselves, And she kind of looked at me. I was kind of pissing her off, but and then she said, I said, "Well, can I have that back?" She said, "No, I'm going to keep this." And she put it over here and stuck it in her purse. I was like, "What the hell?" And then she went to the bathroom. Of course, she took her purse because I wasn't going to get in her purse. Just relax. Oh, and I called Kenny. I called the bartender over. I said, "Let me pay my bill. I'm out the door." "No, you're going to leave?" "Yeah, I'm out the door." Okay, because I already decided that it's not a lot of fun hanging out with people who are entitled, who feel like they're entitled and they are the only ones. if it would have been me, I would have said, hey, can I keep this, or where can I get one or something? I wouldn't just took it and said I'm keeping it. And so I'm doing a check down right now, and I'm out the door because I'm not trying to go down that road anymore. So that's my story about the bar card. But it was pretty funny. People get to see me sweat. I don't know why they enjoy that so much. Oh, all right. It's on there. Oh, I'm pretty sure. If you want to hang on, I'll mark it up. So okay, no. Kenner, I wouldn't do that. I wouldn't mark it up. I appreciate you guys supporting me in first place, and I try to show that, and also make sure that it's on the website. Okay, so property tax sale on free, simple, absolute ownership. I don't know what that means. So, I just call you creator of the universe, creator of the boundless universe. That's almost like rolling without limitations in the creator of the boundless universe. I'm not sure what you're asking. The property tax on sale, if it's the property tax package, I can put it on sale. I'll put it on sale tomorrow. I got to look at it. Property tax will be on sale tomorrow. Let me make a note. I'll put it on sale tonight when we get done. I'll put it on sale. Yeah, but I'm expecting video reviews. Like I said, I'm expecting video reviews. I'm gonna have a new recording on my phone. People call me. Oh, this is Coach's name. Did you leave a review? Okay, sorry. I'm getting I'm drinking too much tea this morning. I think that's it. I can do that. But I guess I'm gonna say that's what you're asking me. So I want to put the property tax package on sale. If somebody's interested in it, I'm gonna put it on sale because I need to. With these tariffs going on, people not spending as much, and I know y'all need this shit. You know, it's really heartbreaking for me when people call me to come in tomorrow, or my 10 days is up. Oh, yeah, Freddie, look at you, crushing that shit. Yeah. All right, man. That's I'm gonna have to roll with you right there. And I guess for me, my limitation thing on that, and I don't usually roll with limitations, but when it comes to dealing with drama, I have a limitation, and with her feeling entitled reminded me of drama that I spent a lot of whatever. So yeah, but you're right. She she needed the bar call because she did not have one herself. Oh, okay. You know what though? If she would have worked that out differently, okay, because she was really, but you know what? You learn some things, and hopefully so sometimes you forget shit though that you learn these things. Okay, my son came to me one time. My youngest kid came to me one time, and he was a sophomore in high school. And he said, "Dad, I have this girl that likes me. She's very beautiful, and she's I was like, dude, so yeah, what's up?" said, yeah, but she's kind of possessive when we go to youth group meetings, and I can't talk to any other girls. And she's, I was like, oh, well, that's not a good thing, because generally that just gets worse, whatever. And he said, yeah, so I think I'm probably gonna dump her. And so the next day he came home early from school in the morning, and he looked, and I was like, dude, what's this? He said, oh, I just had to come home, Dad, and I'm just gonna go back. I don't have any class right now. I have a study hall. So I'm like, what do you do? I said, well, I went to school early this morning because I wanted to have some time to meet with my friends and talk to everybody without. And so she was right there. Bam. Okay, so my point is, just being attracted to someone just because they're beautiful is not always the best thing. There's there's a whole bunch of things that kind of have to shape together to make that work out, because unless you like drama and whatever. So I don't really like too much drama. So that's kind of, but yeah, that's she kept she kept the car because she didn't have one herself. Oh man, you're killing me right now. Hey, but you keeping it real, and that's how we roll around here. We keeping it real, 110. So yeah, she needed it. Well, if she'd asked me for it, I gave it to her. I would have. She would have had to. I don't know. She would have had to give me a number or something, or a Twitter account or something, or buy me a drink or something. Okay, if she'd have asked me for it, I gave it to her because it's pretty cool. And most people are really, they're pretty much freaked out when they say, "What?" Oh, well, it gets put up for property tax sale. Well, we started at the top of the show how all that kind of checks down to this situation, and and their whole system is set up to do this. Starting out when they signed after you left and did all that shenanigans to get 9 times the amount. Modern money mechanics said when they processed that thing through the Federal Reserve for electronic credits, which is what they say loan the mortgage loan was, the electronic credits. Modern money mechanics said that those people get 9 times the amount that went into a demand deposit account. So how the hell can they be going broke? It don't make no sense to me. So okay, so I want to screen share and show you guys. Okay, this is us over on Odyssey, and we streaming right now, right there. We streaming right now. Oh, and so you guys should get over here. I got one follower, and this first follower is gonna get something free. So whoever that first follower is, need to contact me. And so oh, that's fancy. Now I can view the tab again. Yeah, I'm still learning how to use this. Yeah, but I don't know how to switch back over. So we're gonna do it this way. We're going to take that off. And then Oh, this is us over on Rumble, because we're kind of going to start getting off YouTube. I'm getting tired of messing with them. So that's us over on Rumble. And I'm going to put the links to these new media, social medias on the web page, so people can find them. This place is pretty cool, and I've set up almost just like YouTube, but they don't take your stuff off if you're saying stuff attorneys don't like, and that's one of the cool things reason why we're here. Now, let's see, I think I got one more place here. Okay, so we're offering, we've had some new products on our website, and we have, well, right now, the 10 people that invested in the RICO lawsuit. Remember, I had a couple of weeks ago, I put that one lawsuit up, and then I was going to coach you guys on how to answer or help you answer if they can figure out or what. Well, that turned into the online course. So, and that's why it's been long. It's been, we've been getting all this stuff together. So that turned into the online course. And all of the people that bought that RICO package, you should call me and get a coaching call so that I can see where you're at, what the posture your situation is, to make sure that you have what you need to stop the process while we're getting this thing up and rolling. Now, this is the training hub, and I want to show it to you guys. It talks a little bit about, so this is where we're going to be communicating for those students that are in the online course. And this page is going to have is going to be password protected. So probably starting tomorrow, I'll email all of those people that's in the course. Now, I have 3 spots that are still open. They're at the price of their premium package right now, which is $1,500. When the course is open and we get all this lined out and everything set up, the next one past the group that's getting in for the $1,500, the next course is going to be $3,500, because we're going to have it all lined out. I have at least 10 review videos from probably 15 before it's over with. So if you're interested in that, we have a page up where you can actually invest and make your whatever and do all that. And then you need to call me so that I can make sure I have you on the list. And then we'll do the coaching. We'll do the coaching strategy call to make sure that you're in a position to where they're not going to be taking advantage of you while we're getting this rolling and returning or whatever. So, but here is where I'm going to post all of the things that you need. And I'll be posting videos here, announcements and updates, and the training modules. These are, and so I'll let you guys know if the training module is going to be video, or most of them are going to be live, because that's the way I like to do this. And then the live trainings will be used in the next one. The idea is to have it set up to where we'll have everything we need, and I'll leave notes. Okay, but the biggest thing here too that people need to, and I probably should have had the library this at the top, is I'm going to put links to all of the documents that we're going to be using. And I haven't got the list of them yet, because the last 3 or 4 weeks that I was in Arizona is when I made this package, and I had to make all these things. So I have to go through a list and figure out what we need and what we don't need. Some stuff we don't need and we're going to move that out. But the documents will be here, and this is why this page is going to be password protected. So the people that invested in the RICO lawsuit package, I took the RICO out of it because I was having trouble marketing it because they didn't like that word. Yeah. And then I turned it into the online course situation. And so I'm going to have copies of all the documents that we're going to use in the online course will be posted in here. And this is where you guys can come and put your password in and check, get the documents that you need. Now, when you get the documents, you need to take them and you need to make sure you copy and paste them into your own Word before you personalize them so that your information doesn't show up in my files. And then sometime OneDrive messes together, and if that happens, then other people will get to see your stuff. And most of your stuff is already public, so that's not that big a deal. Okay, but the bigger deal is that if I see the stuff that's infected and then I have to take it out. I have to delete that and replace it. So other people aren't seeing that when they pull up their stuff or when they pull out their original file to make their stuff. Keep up with me. Okay, and then you won't be able to get your document. So it's very important that you do that. And then we'll have a video training library. But I think what I'm probably going to do is make all new videos for this because, we're on a whole different program here. And this is going to be the student question and answer section. There's a section here you guys can leave comments in. And I think that section was originally for reviews, but we're using it for a comment section. So, and then an email address. And right now, I haven't decided if we're going to be on Zoom or we may just do it right here on StreamYard because they have it set up now. Everyone can have their little face right there, and we can just. And this is a whole lot easier, but I haven't got to that. That's the end of the week decisions that needs to be made when we get all of this together. So this is the most important part, I think, was the page for the students to be able to go to this page and see what we're doing, access the documents that you need and that we're including, and the whole ball of wax. And you should be saving these things, for the people who are going to start your own business doing this or whatever. You should be saving these things in a file so that you can find them or whatever, and when you need them to help other people. And keeping them clean, you'll be able to teach other people without them even knowing that you went through it. They don't necessarily have to know. And so this is our donation link. She called it Coach's Payment Link. I wanted it to be a donation link for anybody who would like to make a donation to our program. Now, tonight, this is the 3rd. Yeah. So tonight, okay, tonight we're having like a free mini workshop. On the marriage dissolution package. I didn't put exactly what we're going to do in there. I think it should have been there. I don't know what happened with that. And eventually I'm going to have it set up to where we'll have a workshop situation set up. So this is the same thing that I just showed you. It's just a little different words here. And so I'm going to have the workshop set up, and then we'll have a page just like I just showed you with all of the things and the times and stuff until I get the online. Now, we had 2 online courses before on teachable.com. And when Nikki Ross, who was a legal coach, helped some people get their deed delivered, using the mortgage fraud package, which is the online course. Now we had to take mortgage fraud out because we couldn't market that very well. Okay, when she helped him get the deed, and she made me a review video, which is on the website. I posted it in the software, and they Hey, I think I was talking to myself for a while. I think internet jacking me around or something. Yeah, my internet shut down. That was weird. Hmm. I had to log. I had to. It must have been a gap or something in it. Okay. So could you guys hear me talking about the stuff that I was talking about? Could you see it? I don't even know if you saw the last few minutes of what I was talking about. I didn't know how long I was shut down. So yeah, I'm still alive. Okay, guys, I'm gonna get out of here. It's about getting lunchtime, and I got some other stuff to get done. So I will thank you guys for the value of sharing your time, and I'll see you in the next. I'll see you tonight. We'll be back on here tonight. We coming back tonight, or is it tomorrow? I don't know. Let me check and see when it is. I think it's tonight. We're coming tonight. Yep, it's Wednesday. We're coming tonight. I got this. See you guys later.